Okay, well, lovely. Amy is on today, and thank you so much for being a guest on The Whole Hog, Amy.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so very welcome. And you've got a lot of exciting projects coming up. And as you were just saying, you're like, doing it all at the same time. So tell me a little bit about yourself and then these exciting projects that you have all got going on all at the same time.
All right. Well, my biggest thing is that I got a divorce after being married for 29 years. And that kind of forced me into, I don't know who the heck I am. I don't know what I like, what I want to do. And so it just kind of sent me on a journey of self-discovery. I'm still working in corporate America. I work 40 to 50 hours a week. And so as this journey progressed, still in my corporate job, it led me to begin writing and begin speaking to women and begin empowering women to also find their identity, because I was lost. And it's not just after a traumatic event, but after maybe you're an empty nester and your kids have gone or whatever. And it just forces us to kind of figure out who we are and who we are at our core, what we like to do, because a lot of times we've spent our whole lives either devoted to our children or devoted to our marriage or whatever it is. So that's kind of my goal right now, is just being an advocate for women, empowering women to find who they are and live life authentically.
I love that. And that must have been, like you said, that shift, because all of a sudden you've been in this marriage for 29 years. And that brings about a whole identity that goes round about that marriage, about everything, because you are seen as two people almost, even though you're an individual. You know, it's like a unity thing. And then all of a sudden you're thinking, who actually am I? What do I like? And what direction am I meant to go in? And what's my purpose? And so did the writing, is that something that you enjoyed doing previously, or was that something that came about as part of like your healing journey and like finding who you were after that then?
It actually did come about as part of my healing journey. I had an executive in my office, and she wrote in a book series, and encouraged me to write in the next book that was coming out. And I really never fancied myself as a writer. Of course, I would journal and that sort of thing, which was huge during my healing journey, because you get to write all the stuff that you don't really need to say. And so, so I just kind of learned from her about storytelling, the art of storytelling, and the fact that you can tell something that has happened in your life, even if it's something simple or something big, and you can use that to help other people. And so that's kind of how it began. It was like the cherry on top of my healing journey.
I love that. And so the book that you're doing, well, obviously that got you into doing this whole project and this book that you're doing now, which is absolutely amazing. That, you know, to be going through your own journey in life, you're healing, all these different tips and finding yourself, to then now having something that can help other people navigate this time as well. Like, that's such a special thing that you've done, that you've achieved. But what's that been like going through that process as well? Because that's obviously been a massive process as well for you, going through that. To writing and journaling, to then saying, I'm going to push this further and I'm going to do my own book. So what's this process been like for you going through this as well?
It's a lot harder than I thought. It's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot more to it than I ever thought, because initially, you know, in 2023, when I wrote in a collaborative book, we had editors and we had coaches and we had all of those things together to help us. And this time I was using everything that I learned and everything that I know to do my own. So I had to find my own editor. I had to find my own designer for the cover. I had to do all of these things that were previously done for us. So it's a lot more involved than people realize, even as a self-published author. So self-publishing and creating the layout, and Amazon is real sticklery when it comes to the spine and the cover and all these things. So it was a lot more work than I ever thought, but it was additionally a lot more therapeutic too, because I got a chance to tell all of it from my healed whole self, not just kind of in the midst of my therapy and in the midst of all of that, but as someone who is completely on the other side, wanting to offer things to someone else. So.
Yeah, I love that. And that's exactly the question I was going to actually ask you then, is doing a full book, doing the whole thing. This will be now like a whole, like this is the healing journey. This must feel like it's complete, if that makes sense. Like you've been through this journey, but now you've managed to have this as like an end goal, end result of that. That must have felt like it's been like a part of your healing journey and the move on from everything for you as well.
Yes, it has been. It's been just such an awesome process. I'm grateful to put my own book out and go from there and see what else, if it sparks something else or whatnot. So it's good.
And it's amazing. It's amazing. And I think that having the courage to do something like what you've done as well, because a lot of people will go through massive changes and they will go through divorces or, like you said, empty nesters, and all of a sudden they feel like, who are they? This identity. But not enough people speak about it openly. You know, it's just you're kind of left to figure it out. And so you've had this courage to share your journey and to share your story to help other people. So I think that's absolutely awesome. It's amazing.
Thank you. I know when I was going through my own healing process, it was like, okay, I grabbed this self-help book and this self-help book, and let me listen to this talk or this person or go to this kind of therapy. And so I kind of tried to, not that it's the end all to everything, but I kind of tried to put all of those tips and tricks kind of as a guide into my book so that, the things that I used that helped me, I will hopefully help other people.
Yeah. And what was it that you would say like that? Like, what was one of the massive things that you found on your journey from being like in a partnership for such a long time to then finding yourself? Did that, finding yourself did that affect like your job, your identity with your job? Did you kind of second guess your job? Or was it just in general, you weren't too sure like where you were fitting after that? Like, what was your initial move from that?
I initially, it kind of started with, okay, if I'm not cooking for a family, if I'm not listening to what everybody else wants, what do I want? What do I want if I could choose anything for myself? Or if I have all of this time on my hands, because when I separated, it was the start of COVID. If I have all of this time on my hands, what do I want to do with it? Or if I take a vacation now, what does that vacation look like with just myself or maybe my friends or my family, without my children or without my spouse? Where would I go? Where would I choose to go? And I didn't start traveling until the year before my separation. So 2018, we traveled a lot within the US and we'd been to Mexico and we've taken some trips like that, but abroad, like to Europe. 2018 was my first time to leave, to go somewhere like that. And it was so eye-opening. I think that's probably one of the biggest takeaways from learning about myself. And the thing that I have learned is I love travel and I love to go to new places. And I love to learn history. Just, I've been to Rome. I've been to so many different places that you're getting all of this history, because let's face it, the US is young. We are a young country. And we don't realize that, we go to Boston or something and we think, oh my gosh, this is a couple of 100 years old. But no, you go somewhere else and it's BC or whatever, that things are so, it's just been so eye-opening. I think that, I talk in my book about things that set your soul on fire. That is where Soul on Fire is going. And so I always promised my mom I'd take her somewhere each year. And so, what started as a Mediterranean cruise, leaving out of Barcelona, and then 2 weeks in Italy, to last year's trip, I think we hit 7 countries, leaving out of London. And so I'm like, okay, where am I going next? Where am I going next? Because I want to see the world. And it's just I'm a very, very, very frugal vacation planner. So I'm always trying to plan, a year, 9 months ahead so I can save my money. But that has been probably one of my biggest takeaways, is that's something that I have enjoyed that I never really did before that I do now.
Yeah, like you said, that's not something that you wouldn't have known before because you've done stuff before, but that massive and going away as well by yourself or with your mum or, and a whole different dynamic. and actually seeing something for the first, it must have been quite like an emotional thing, when you go somewhere and you're like, I can't believe I've never done this before. Like, I love this. It's like I'm like finding myself.
It is. It really is. One of the trips that my mom and I took were to Scotland, to Edinburgh. We took the train from Edinburgh to Inverness because my mother is actually Scottish by descent. And her family, we traced back and everything. Her family was made innkeepers of the Inverness Castle like a bazillion years ago. And so we stayed at the base of the Inverness Castle, and just finding that and feeling like you're kind of home. I mean, like I'm born in the US and I'm, raised here in Texas and everything, but we're all from somewhere else. We are not all from here. Our lineage comes from somewhere. And so learning that and learning more about your history and getting to see that is just, it was so cool. And it is emotional because you're like, wow, our ancestors were here in the Highlands or wherever, wherever I'm kind of a melting pot. I have a little bit of everything, but in particular that, but it is emotional. It's really just, it's so cool to see.
And so did you say you went to 7 countries in 1 year? Did I hear you say that correctly?
We did. We took a cruise. And so we're in Germany, we're in the Netherlands, we're in Amsterdam, we leave out of London, we go to Scotland, we went everywhere on this 12-day cruise. So that was awesome. It was awesome to stop at different ports and just see the culture of each place. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. Like going from like just keeping yourself in one place to all of a sudden seeing all this in one go. It must have been like, and is that like when you've been to different places, as you've been writing your book, has this given you some inspiration because you've had different feelings and different experiences from all of a sudden going to different places? Has this been part of your journey of writing as well?
I think this book that's coming out is more of the journey of the healing and the going through the things that I went through. And I think I'm feeling a need for another book that has to do with setting your soul on fire from travel alone, because it's just like the feelings that you feel to go to The Hague or to even go to the red light district in Amsterdam or where, whatever all we saw is just like, mind blowing. So it's been good. So I'm feeling the juices and the creativity flowing for yet something else in the future.
I love that. Yes. And once you've got that creative juice, it's like, keep it flowing, keep it flowing. And you said you'd done a collaborative book. Was that to do with, because you touched on it being like, actually when you were in the therapy, was that part of your journey, I take it then? So that was just a part collab, right? Okay. And so this is the full journey, the full story and the tools that you have gained from that. And so when is it the book is launching? I know it's soon, but is it October?
October 7th.
I thought it was the start of October. That's amazing. And is it all finished just now? You're just getting all the little last minute things in place for it? Are you public? Like, are you just getting pushing everything out there just to kind of show that it's coming? How are you finding this part of it? Yes.
I don't know if you can see or not, but it is an actual full book in my hand. But there are a few things before I get the author copy in that I want to just kind of tweak in there formatting wise. But yeah, it's an actual book. Yep, it's hard to see.
Yes, that's it. Finding your truest you. I love it. And I love that picture of you as well on the front. It's absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. And again, is there anything that you would just like to share before we wrap up this podcast? Anything that you think somebody needs to hear? Anything that comes to mind?
Find the things that set your soul on fire.
I love that. Yeah. And it's so, so important. It's so important. And I think, and that's one thing that we forget to do when we've got the mum duties, we've got all the different things, and we just forget to pursue what it is or figure out what sets our soul on fire. So I love that. And I love that you've done that as well, because that's exactly what you're doing. Absolutely love it.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much, Amy. And what I'll do is I will share the details of your books. I will share your Instagram, your Facebook handles, and everything else, so everybody can keep up to date with all of the amazing things that you have got coming up in your books, and they can reach out to you. So I'll link that all into today's podcast and when I'm sharing that.
All right. Thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate you.